Hello and thanks for joining us on NC Exclusive. Today we have a very special guest, His Excellency, the High Commissioner of the Republic of Uganda to Nigeria, His Excellency, Mr. Nelson Ochegar. Thank you very much for joining us on NC Exclusive, High Commissioner.
My pleasure.
1st of March 2022 will make it your 4th year as High Commissioner of the Republic of Uganda to Nigeria. How would you describe the relationship between your country, Uganda, and Nigeria, bilateral relations?
The bilateral relations between the Republic of Uganda and the Federal Republic of Nigeria are excellent, and we have enjoyed very, very good diplomatic relations since our countries gained independence from the British.
So it's been over 50 years of bilateral relations.
Absolutely.
Between Nigeria and Uganda. Now, we're looking at, from a business angle, what are the opportunities for Ugandans in Nigeria, and for Nigerians in Uganda, what investment opportunities are there?
I think the business opportunities that exist in both countries are immense, in the sense that for us, we are looking at Nigeria as a potential good market for the products and the services that we produce. More so given the population of Nigeria as a country, given the fact that Nigeria is a member of the Economic Community of West African States. So when you put all these countries together, given the fact that I'm not only representing Uganda in Nigeria, but I'm also representing Uganda in all other ECOWAS member states, there is a huge market potential for us here as a country. And therefore, we are looking at Nigeria as a country where we can sell what we are producing in Uganda and adding value. We are looking at agricultural products. We are looking at coffee. We are looking at tea. We are looking at dairy and poultry products. We are looking at vegetable and animal oils, name them. Having been here for 4 years, I see very clearly that this offers that market that we can take advantage of, not just for purposes of promoting our products, but also we have quite a number of Nigerians who have been going to Uganda for tourism purposes. Remember, we have got beautiful scenery in Uganda. We have got so many wildlife, animals. We have got national parks with the big 5, as you know them. We have got game reserves. We have got cultural attractive centers, and the people generally are very, very hospitable. So over time, the Nigerians have been going to Uganda, particularly on the Martyrs' Day. That is the day we commemorate to remember the Ugandans who were killed by one of the chiefs or the kings, primarily because they were professing their belief in Christianity. And now Nigeria has got so many Christians who want to go and experience that take part in that experience, to be able to understand what exactly happened and led to the martyrdom of those people. Now, in terms of investment, as you know, Uganda recently discovered oil reserves. We want to share the experience that Nigeria has had in that industry.
And that's, I'm happy you mentioned that, because that was my next question. Uganda will produce its first oil in 2025. Nigeria discovered its first oil in 1956, and we've been here for a long time. So over the next 5 years, production is expected to jump to 230 barrels per day in the next 5 years. How much of a big deal is the discovery of oil to Ugandans? So what investment opportunities are there for Nigeria, being a major producer of oil?
It's a big deal in the sense that we are looking at using the proceeds from that industry to build our infrastructure, to build and revamp our energy sector, so that we are able to create a conducive environment that is good for investment, that is good for trade, that's good for tourism. Now, the investment opportunities available are in the areas of exploration, in the areas of refining, in the areas of transportation, and in the areas of ensuring that whatever byproducts are there are used for purposes of producing other products, plastics, name them. What we are trying to do as a country is to ensure that whether it's the crude oil or the byproducts from that oil, it's continuously added value locally so that we are able to export final products.
So you get the best of the entire value chain of the crude oil, everything it has to offer. Now, my question is this, Mr. High Commissioner. I'm sure a lot of people would say, you know, it's kind of a blessing that we discovered oil so late, because you've seen what economists have termed the resource curse in Africa, where countries are blessed with abundant natural resources, and it has not been able to translate into economic benefits for the majority of its citizenry. How does Uganda plan to avoid this mistake and this trap that a lot of resource-rich African countries have fallen into in the past?
I think what we have emphasized, and we shall continue emphasizing, is the fact that we want the local entrepreneurs to have a big role to play in this industry. To that end, we came up with the local content law, which gives us a framework within which the local entrepreneurs can work with the foreign entrepreneurs to develop the industry, whether it is extraction, refining, transportation, or adding value to any other byproducts that we get from the crude industry. So because of that local content policy, we want to ensure that the Ugandan entrepreneurs, the Ugandan population, has a bigger role to play. That way, much of the resources will remain in the country. More jobs shall be created. People will have employment opportunities, and that will improve their living conditions.
Fantastic. Earlier we spoke about Uganda's enormous tourism potential, and it's a significant driver of the economy. I happen to have been to Uganda myself. You talked about the mountains, the Rwenzori national parks, the Big Fives and all of that. But in order for people to get to Uganda, they need to get a visa. Intra-Africa travel seems to be very difficult, connectivity, air flights and all of that. My question to you, Mr. High Commissioner, is how friendly and seamless is the Ugandan visa regime? And in what ways are you collaborating with regional players and international stakeholders to up the ante in favor of, you know, selling Uganda to the world? Because it's really the pearl of Africa. And I'm speaking from first-hand experience after visiting.
We want to continue ensuring that applicants for visas do it online and are able to get visas at the entry points, provided you have applied online and you have been clear to get a visa. We want that to continue. The other thing that we want to do now is we want to roll out visa waiver for holders of diplomatic service and official passports. But you know, that's a small population of people.
Yes.
But the idea is that once it works out, then we should be able to roll it out to all other holders of different types of of passports. Essentially, Uganda, like the rest of countries in East Africa, are looking forward to ensuring that Africans are able to move to East Africa as easily as possible. As we speak right now, we have in the whole of West Africa, it's Ghana, it is Benin, where Ugandans can go and just enter the country, get a visa on arrival. But we want that to be rolled to all other countries. And with the government of Nigeria, we are working on that, and we believe that as soon as possible, that should be the case, and vice versa. If we are to talk about integrating our continent,
yes,
the starting point is for us to make the movement of people as easy as possible, as seamless, as you say, as possible. That way, we shall encourage free movement of services, free movement of goods, free movement of people, and the more people move and interact with one another, the more we shall be building very solid blocks that we can use for eventual integration of our continent.
What is Uganda's status with regards to the Africa Free Trade Area Agreement protocol? Has Uganda ratified, and are you in favor of it?
Uganda was one of the first countries in East Africa to sign into this agreement because we have been longing for it for a very, very long time. Our president, as you know, is a Pan-Africanist. And he has always taught us that Uganda's progress is dependent on the progress of Africa. Uganda's security is dependent on the security of Africa. And therefore, initiatives like the African Continental Free Trade Area is something that we welcomed with both hands because it's an opportunity that Uganda can take advantage of in terms of accessing the markets in the continent, in terms of attracting foreign indirect investment into Uganda, in terms of attracting as many investors as possible into Uganda and as many treasures as Uganda. Uganda is a hub in the sense that from Uganda, if you go and invest to produce a service or a good, you can have market first in Uganda, a market within the East African community to which Uganda is a member, a market in the COMESA, Common Market for East and Central Africa, to which Uganda is a member, and you can also have access to the market of Southern African Development Corporation, which is SADC. So when you put that together, the market is immense, and we are taking advantage of that. So this agreement that the African continent entered into should be welcomed by all African countries because it is going to open doors for our products, for our services, for people to move about.
Before we begin to round up, High Commissioner, Uganda prides itself as a very peaceful country when you compare it to the volatile region. There used to be a lot of instability in the past. What lessons can the rest of Africa learn from Uganda's peaceful nature, and how do you keep the peace in the country?
Uganda had a very checkered political past until the NRM government came into power. Between 1962, when we got independence, up to 1986, when this government came into power, we changed government 8 times, and almost violently at all times. And that came with a lot of loss of property, lot of lives, and destabilization. The economy was destroyed. Now, we recognize as a country that this is something that we must treasure and protect jealously. Because of that, we are cognizant of the fact that we cannot be peaceful and stable if the region is not. And because of our Pan-African spirit, we're interested in ensuring that all the countries neighboring us are stable, and we want the rest of Africa to learn from that.
Finally, High Commissioner, I know you don't have a crystal ball in front of you, but what's the future for Nigeria-Uganda bilateral relations?
The future for Uganda-Nigeria bilateral relations entirely depends on the ability of the governments to make sure that the people are made the center of these relations. The relations must benefit the private sector, must benefit the people, must benefit the cultural institutions. That is when we can later on sit down and say the relations between Uganda and Nigeria have been good in the sense that the governments have cooperated very well, the private sector has grown, the people have moved and sold whatever they wanted, and when you put that together, then we can be able to have, as I said in the beginning, a solid block that we can use for the eventual integration of our continent. Remember, Uganda is in EAC. Nigeria is in ECOWAS. So we use Uganda and Nigeria to bring these 2 blocks together. When you have ECOWAS in West Africa, you have EAC in East Africa, you have SADC in South Africa, and then you have the Maghreb region. You already have good blocks that you can use to integrate the continent. When you integrate the continent, we become stronger. We become our own center of gravity. and as such we can be able to speak with one voice. Africa is the future of the rest of the world because of the resources we have. If we don't put our hands together, if we don't put our heads together, we shall continue to be exploited at the expense of our own people. And that is not something that we are looking at. So sometime to come from now, we want that situation to be addressed so that our people can benefit and take advantage of whatever we shall have created as governments.
Absolutely. Your Excellency High Commissioner Nelson Ochegar, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. Thank you very much for joining us in News Central Exclusive.
Thank you very much for coming to talk to me, and I invite all of you to come to Uganda.
We'll definitely visit. And that concludes NC Exclusive today. Our guest has been His Excellency, the High Commissioner of the Republic of Uganda to the Federal Republic of Nigeria, High Commissioner Nelson Ochegar. We talked about bilateral relations between Nigeria and Uganda and a whole range of issues. Until next time, on NC Exclusive, I am Gbenga Aborowa.